Hi, South Elementary. This is Mrs. Peterson, and today, with a little help from some friends, I am going to be reading Chapter 4 of Kenny and the Dragon.
Hi, my name is Karis, and I am a townspeople. Hi, my name is Tori, and I am also a townsperson. Hi, my name is Morgan, and I'm also a townsperson.
Hi, my name's Preston, and I'm Kenny. Hi, my name's Tristan, and I'm the dad.
Hi, my name's Lyndon, and I am Graham the Dragon.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm also a townsperson.
I'm Sarah, and I'm the mom.
Okay, Chapter 4. It was getting late now, and Kenny's mom was pacing on the front porch awaiting her son's return. Kenny's father was untroubled by the lateness and reminded her that they should trust their son's judgment on matters concerning nature and fairy tales. And as Kenny coasted in and out of the darkness and into the yellow porch light, he knew it was going to take some work to convince his folks to go up and meet Graham. So he got to it immediately upon his return. He recounted in great detail his conversation with the dragon. During his bath, he told his mom,
He was swallowed up in an earthquake centuries ago. Well, he survived by drinking lava and eating fire rock. But it's okay, he won't burn me.
As he climbed into bed, he told his father,
Graham says there used to be dragons everywhere, eating people and burning castles. But don't worry, Dad, he won't eat me.
And at breakfast the next morning, he told both his parents,
He likes to read and recite poetry, and eat creme brulee. I can't wait to see him again.
I'm thrilled to hear you've met somebody you get along so well, Kenneth.
his mother said as she flipped a fourth helping of pancakes onto his father's plate.
If you're planning on spending more time with that dragon, then I think it is best that your father and I go up and meet him too. Don't you think so, Pa?
I do indeedy.
His father replied as he sipped his coffee.
As long as this isn't some plan to eat my sheep, my son, or us, we're on the same page.
So after school, and after his father brought in the flock for the day, the family trotted up to the top of the hill with picnic baskets in hand to meet Kenny's new acquaintance. As they neared the grassy summit, Kenny's father stopped them all just short of the hilltop. He leaned on his walking stick and sized Graham up while slowly chewing on a stalk of grass. The large blue-scaled creature was arranging the boulders at his cave entrance. He'd step back and study them, then adjust one here and another there, then step back and look at them again. Finally, he noticed Kenny and his family watching him.
Boy there. I was tidying the place up for your visit.
Kenny's father put his paw on his son's shoulder and spoke first.
So you're not the type of fellow to be deceitful to my little boy and trick us all into your belly?
The drake's eyes went wide and he let out the slightest gasp.
Goodness gracious, no. But I may trick you into reciting a favorite poem. If your son's a chip off the old block, I would imagine you are a fellow connoisseur of the spoken word, yes?
Kenny's dad just stood there, chewing on a stalk of grass. The dragon looked at Kenny for a sign, but the boy just shrugged. At last, his mom grabbed his father by the arm and smiled at Graham.
We are very delighted to meet you, Mr. Dragon. Thank you for not eating us. I think you'll enjoy my cooking much better anyway. Kenneth, dear, please help me set up the picnic blanket. Please, allow me.
Graham said, and walked up to offer assistance. In doing so, he inadvertently stepped right on Kenny's father's foot. His father didn't utter a word. His large eyes said it all.
I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Graham said, then hiccuped. A small fireball puffed out of his mouth, engulfing the farmer. Kenny's father just looked down at his son as the last of his singed eyebrows fell to the ground. The boy kept his mouth shut tight, barely suppressing his giggle.
Oh, goodness.
The dragon said, covering his mouth.
I am a bit skimble today, and when I get nervous, I hic.
Kenny's mom took her apron off and wiped the ash from her husband's face.
Kenneth, get some cool water for your father's foot. It should keep the swelling down. There's that creek, hic, at the foot of the hill.
Graham said as he took the bucket that they'd used to carry refreshments. In the dragon's hand, it looked like a little drinking cup.
Let me go. Hick, get it.
And with that, he bounded off.
I don't want any warning, Pa.
Kenny's mom said, putting his hat back over his singed hair.
He'll be fine. Besides, you're making him as nervous as all get out.
With Kenny's dad comfortably soaking his foot, dinner was served. Spread out on the gingham picnic blanket was a delicious meal of radish souffle, sweet glazed carrots, and parsley potatoes. The dragon squealed.
Oh, I haven't had a sweet morsels like this in a long, long time.
Then he grabbed the entire bowl of carrots and tipped them over his open maw.
Hey, mister.
Kenny's mom thumped Graham with her wooden ladle.
Mind your manners.
My apologies.
He replied, gently placing the bowl back down on the blanket.
It's just that this spread is spectacular and a mouth-watering aroma took complete control over me.
The dragon winced with embarrassment. Kenny chortled. As they enjoyed their supper, Graham told Kenny's mom the stories he'd heard of the grand meals that royal chefs cooked each day for the king. He even gave her a few recipes. The creme brulee, torched expertly by Graham using his left nostril, was delicious. Kenny's dad smoked his after-dinner pipe, while Graham recited several of his favorite poems above the twittering of chirruping crickets. As Kenny watched the lights flicker on in the town below, he thought it was one of the best dinners ever.
Hello, Mr. Graham. You must be getting back. I have a kitchen to clean and a boy to get to bed. After all, this is a school night.
Understandable, my lady. Thank you all so much for coming up and visiting. It was a magnificent meal. I apologize for the foot. I trust it'll be okay?
I'll just dandy, dragon.
No being that this here hill is on our property, you can stay up here as long as you like. Just watch yourself. Folks may not take a liking to a dragon living in these parts.
Mum's the word.
So long, Graham.
Kenny said as he shook hands, clawed with him.
See you tomorrow.
Both the dragon and the young rabbit looked over at Kenny's parents.
Oh, of course. Papa is right. Be careful.
School the following week was not as exciting to Kenny as it had been before he met the dragon. Summer break was fast approaching, and every class was packed with end-of-the-year merriment. Even so, Kenny couldn't wait to get home so he could spend the remainder of his day with his newfound friend. Every afternoon, Kenny went up to visit the dragon on the hill. On the weekend, Kenny's mom invited Graham to have dinner at their house. But since he was far too large to come inside, they decided it was best that he simply put his massive head through their kitchen window, where a place was set for him at their table. The following Tuesday was the last day of school, and the students were let out early. Kenny rode his bike as fast as he could to the top of Shepherd's Hill, so that he could tell Graham about his day. He found him sitting in front of an old upright piano, wires jutting out from the top like dead stems in a flower vase.
Hope Bantling. Look what your mom found in the barn. I think I can get it working again too.
Graham said as he pulled on a string and gently tapped a key.
Neat. Hey, I received my grade for my book report today.
And
Well, my teacher was fine with me switching books. She knew I'd read stars and their constellations before anyways. But I'm not sure what she thought of me debunking the faction the King's Royal Bestiary. She felt that those scholars must be the best in the land. After all, they were hired by the king.
King Schming, what does he know?
Exactly. I told her that, unlike the author of the book, I had first-hand account of what a real dragon was like.
Graham stopped hitting the piano keys and looked at Kenny.
What did she say?
She said I had a great imagination and gave me a B+ for effort.
Well done. You'll go on to write your own bestiary someday. You'll see.
The dragon smiled and returned to tuning the piano.
So,
Kenny said as he emptied out his book bag.
what are we reading next?
A dozen different books gathered from his bedroom bookshelf fell out onto the grass. For the next couple of weeks, the dragon and Kenny read every book that he owned.
I had no idea the entire planet was populated by giant lizards like myself. What a raw-looking time that must have been.
Graham said of a book on dinosaurs.
This
Beowulf.
Beowulf fellow had a severe anger management problem.
He sneered after he and Kenny read the epic poem about the Nordic warrior.
He's quite a blackguard if you ask me. You mean to tell me that these little creepy crawlies turn into beautiful butterflies? Now that's true magic.
He declared after studying Kenny's book on insects. Some days, the two of them were too excited to relax and read, so they would invent other fun activities to do.
I had no idea you could make a kite out of stuff from around the house.
Kenny said as they flew homemade kites on the hilltop one windy afternoon.
Oh, I'm no good with watercolors. But this sunset sure is pretty, and your painting looks great. My mom used to play it off.
Kenny said, sitting at the piano stool.
She's gonna flip when she hears that I learned how to play chopsticks. It's her favorite.
Bless you. One sunny Friday afternoon, the two were relaxing under the shade of a large willow. What made it extra comfy was that they were on an old rug Kenny's mom had brought up from the house for the dragon to sleep on.
I'd love to hear more tales by these Grimm brothers.
Graham said, munching on a pear.
Their work is quite entertaining.
I really like them too.
Kenny agreed, grabbing a pair of his own out of the bushel basket.
You know, Georgia, who owns the bookshop in town, said they didn't recreate the stories.
Really? Who did?
To the locals in the countryside, they told their stories to the brothers, who just collected them and wrote them down.
Wow.
Graham said with his mouth full of pear.
What a great town they must have lived in. Look at all the tales that came from it.
Yeah, too bad nobody in town is like that. Everybody here is more worried about their crops than telling stories,
Said Kenny, looking down at Brownsbrook from the hilltop.
I can understand that. We all need food.
Graham said, picking his teeth.
But I bet you could come up with a grand tale of your own, and I could help you write it.
Really?
Sure, why not? Who else is going to create the next great stories for kids to read?
Kenny thought about this for a moment. Then he looked down at the books scattered around him on the blanket.
Graham, a lot of other kids in town, they don't really get me. I don't even know if they like me.
Nonsense, complete nonsense.
The dragon declared. Then he began counting off on his clawed fingers.
You're well read, you love nature, you love food, music, art, poetry, and what's not to like?
I just wanted to say you're the best friend I've ever had.
Really?
Graham replied. His lemony eyes were wide and glowing in the shade of the willow tree.
You know, little bantling, you're all right in my book.
Even though I have vicious coils.
Even with your vicious coils, you devil scourge.
Said Graham, and he threw a paracord at Kenny, which he dodged with ease as he scuttled behind the trunk of the willow.
So tell me, are there any other storytellers like these Grimm brothers?
Oh yes, George told me about another guy named Hans something.
Kenny reappeared on the opposite side of the tree trunk.
I can get his book next.
He lobbed a paracord of his own back at Graham, which the drake caught in his toothy maw and spit it back at the boy. Ducking as it flew overhead, Kenny added,
I should probably go see George tomorrow. I usually visit him once a week, and I haven't been in town for a while.
And so early the next day, after his chores were finished, Kenny rode into town to return the books borrowed to his friend George. It was on Main Street in the center of the little town of Roundbrook that Kenny spied quite a gathering. Townsfolk and villagers were huddled around a newspaper boy who was selling them the daily paper as fast as his little paws could go. The citizens mumbled and growled amongst themselves.
Graham would enjoy a bit of local news.
Kenny thought as he hopped off his bike and wiggled into the mass. that you? No? Okay. People will come from far and wide. It will certainly create a ruckus, that's for sure.
I don't believe it at all. This is rubbish. No, I heard somebody saw it firsthand. But the children, I wonder if there should be a curfew. Not to worry. This matter should be resolved very soon.
Then Kenny saw the headline, Dragon spotted in Round Brook. Infamous scourge seen on Shepherd's Hill. Fear not, citizens. Extermination is imminent.